Okay, I think we're ready. Elle Ingalls here at pressure-free.com. I wrote this book, The Pressure Free CEO. It came out last July, and I thought what I would do this week is go through some of the chapters, just share a bit. I'm going to just tell you what the chapter is, and then I'm going to riff on it. So, the first chapter of this book, after you get through the prelude and the introduction, is performance pressures and the cardiovascular side effects. And I talk about 42-year-old Ranjan Das, who was an executive in India, touted for his health and his well-being. He ate well, he exercised, he was a marathoner, he was a polymath, he was creating films, quite an amazing person. And he passed away at age 42 during a workout, actually. Um, and as I reflect on that in the book, if you get the book, you'll see one of the pressures that I see with anyone who's leading, even if that's just you leading your life, is that we feel performance pressures. The Olympics are going on right now, and we're certainly seeing that. We're seeing performance pressures. One of the things that I learned from a book by Dr. Gay Hendricks called The Big Leap is the idea of an upper limit. I call it a glass ceiling, where we'll be doing really great, and then we'll just hit this moment. And in that moment, which can occur for a variety of reasons, we hit this moment where suddenly we self-sabotage. And the self-sabotaging happens because we go into fight or flight. I heard that last night when I was watching the Olympics, oh, you could see that they're in fight or flight, this pair. Something went wrong. And so you hit some moment because if you're a speaker, you'll see someone in the room that, oh no, they're going to critique me. We're not afraid of public speaking. We're afraid of public speaking in front of certain people. Same thing with any sort of performance. If you are leading a meeting, it could be because the person who's going to decide if you get the next promotion is in the meeting that you are leading. So there's all these points in time where we can feel this thought that, oh no, I'm not good enough, or I can't do this, or I might mess this up. Any of those doubts start to come in. So when we hit that, if you notice, this is how you can break the glass ceiling. If you feel that initial tension, that initial fear starts to well up inside you, if you notice that you have plenty of time, 10 seconds, 10 seconds is plenty of time to just do something, anything that will interrupt the release of those hormones. So you can break through that glass ceiling and actually optimize and move up into an even higher level of performance. It's those moments when we're starting to hit the glass ceiling on any area in our life. It's at those moments that if we can assess, not release the stress hormones and break through, that we up level, that we take something to a new level. One of the things that I think causes people, there's a very, let me get this clear. There's a very large populace that will say in the coaching industry, get outside your comfort zone, push outside your comfort zone. I actually think that if you step outside your comfort zone and trigger the stress response, you're going to self-sabotage, most likely. Maybe not right in those moments, but you're sabotaging yourself in a long-term way, your long-term health, your long-term well-being. You'll sustain it for a little while, but those stress hormones are working on you. And that's why with Ranjan Das, even though he was supposedly doing everything right, except perhaps sleeping, people were on him about his sleep because he was on the clock a lot, that he was building plaque in his heart. His arteries there were probably a little bit of plaque pulled off, and that's what caused his cardiac arrest. So this glass ceiling, comfort zone, one of the things you can do is expand your own energy, your own feeling of comfort, if you will. your own feeling, I'm going to use the word confidence instead of comfort, but that you feel confident in like about 3 feet, 5 feet around yourself. Like you feel confident in that. So when you're taking the stage, going out on the field, leading a meeting, walking down the hallway to a meeting, getting on a Zoom call, if you can imagine your comfort zone expanding in front of you and then take a step, expanding in front of you and then take a step. I used to do this as a conductor. So my training was as an orchestral conductor, and I conducted for a while, and then I went all into management and back to performing and teaching. So I haven't conducted in a long while, but this was something that I used to do. You're waiting backstage as a conductor. Orchestra goes out, warms up. Concertmaster goes out first. They take their bow, they tune the orchestra. Now finally I get to go. So you're backstage waiting. And if you've ever been in that situation, like sitting outside the door for an interview, or, it's the waiting that can really cause those nerves to surface up. And so while I was backstage, I was literally opening my comfort zone. I got so good at this that people would actually stand in it because they felt calm being close to me. It was kind of funny, but I just like expand and I'm just standing there. When the door swings open, I would just expand that comfort zone out and take a step and take a step. And I just keep expanding it all the way over the orchestra, all the way over the audience, out the doors. Because I know there's people out in the lobby listening, especially those who haven't arrived yet, right? Like it was just like opening my energy so big that when I took my bow and turned around, because remember my back is to the audience, I'm looking at the orchestra. It's 360 degrees, just so open and so confident and calm, and energized, like the energized without being adrenalized. I should really coin that phrase. Like pressure free helps you be energized without being adrenalized. So your energy is open and strong. You've got your own back. So that's a little tool that you can use, and you can use it for anything. You're going to a party and you're starting to feel a little nervous about it. Just settle in your comfort zone, get strong in your own space, right? And then open it up and just open it up and open it up. So by the time you go through the doors into the party, you've got your security, you've got your safety, if you will. It's crazy to me how unsafe so many people feel today. I would think, thinking back to when I was a child, that we would be working toward creating a feeling of safety for people, but we've done all kinds of things to really rock people's safety. In some ways, we haven't helped students and people for the last like 20 years be emotionally resilient. They get rocked by so many things and they feel unsafe. So let's go to a tool for that for a moment. If you watch my show, you've heard me say it before, but your lower abs. So if you think about your ab muscles are like body armor. When you go into fight or flight, they tense up and tighten up. You're protecting your organs down there because if you really were in a fight, you would need to protect all of that. We don't have ribs. So those ab muscles act like ribs to protect. We really hold a lot of tension over our lower abs. We're protecting our most precious parts. So all of this tension, if you are in that tense mode, you're actually telling your nervous system, look out, be afraid, something's going to happen. So you're on the edge of going into fight or flight. So it's so easy to go into fight or flight without even knowing that you are. It's like you're driving down the road and all of a sudden you're really realizing you're going to be late to a meeting. You'll just tense up. And there's nothing going to hurt you right now, right? But it's just our natural body's mechanism to protect us from a threat. So we're feeling threatened because we're going to be late and we might, I don't know, lose a client or whatever the thing is. So we'll tense up. In order to counteract that, you need to start to learn to get your belly more soft. Now, this may go against what your personal trainers are telling you. If that's the case, you should see my personal body coach because she will tell you the opposite. When you get your belly soft, And I've been teaching this for years. And then when I met her, she confirmed it. She goes, oh, yes, keep the front of your body soft. Keep your belly soft. Now take your hand and go over to where your belly kind of tucks back in, your way lower abs. Now relax that spot. So when you relax that spot, the whole front of your body gets more open, more wide, more relaxed. And you're literally telling your brain, your nervous system, there's no reason to be afraid here. So if I were coaching those Olympic athletes that are feeling nervous, you can feel their tension through the screen, right? Before they would take the ice, or they're at the top of the ski hill, whatever's going on, one of the things I would do, and we'd be working on this way ahead of time, 24 hours before they were even taking the stage, we would be keeping those lower abs soft. The more those lower abs are soft, the more the brain says, I don't need to be afraid here. I'm going to be fine. You can also use words. So my tools in Pressure Free come in three types. Mind tool or body tools first. The body, because a lot of times the stressors are up in here. So if we can drop into the body and use the body, it can be helpful. But for some people, that's not helpful. They prefer my mind tools. So mind tools are things we say to ourselves, flipping the switch, um, things we do. Even just a smile is a mind tool because what it does um, biologically to our brain. And then life design tools. Life design tools move into time management, goal setting, sometimes just words, which you might say is a mind tool, but really it's designing something for your life. Again, I don't really know which tools are going to work for my clients, which is why I give them such a variety. I'll give you one more tool today. It's a big tool day. So you have expanding your comfort zone. That's one. Relaxing your lower abs. And then you can soothe your body. I learned this from Leela Veronica, my personal body coach, too, that our nervous system has a directionality to it. And if you work with it, you can soothe it very quickly. So if I have someone who's experiencing a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, these are some of my go-to tools right away, this way of settling the nervous system. And the um the cool thing to think about is that it's so real. Let's take a dog. If you're going to pat a dog that you don't know, you're going to move your hand in the direction of the fur because you don't want to ruffle its feathers, right? Like if you go the opposite way and the dog doesn't know you, it may bristle. It doesn't really like that. But if you go in the direction of the fur, that's soothing. We want to soothe ourselves. So our directionality goes down the tops of our arms, and there's swirl to it too. If you have hairs on your arm, you can see the directions of the nervous system. You can see the direction of the hairs. So down and over the top of your hands. We hold a lot of tension in our hands. If you're on computer and your hands are like claws, like a lot of tension back in here, if you can get that to soften, that will be helpful. Also down the tops of your legs, all the way down to your toes and up underneath. So it's up underneath and it's down over here. But let's say you're going into a stressful meeting. Before you go, you're back at your desk. You can just go down your legs a few times, just from the thighs down. And just that motion, like, I don't know, 5, 10 times, however many times you need it, that's soothing your nervous system. Or you can go over your arms and over your hands. Get the top of the hand very soft. So top of the hand very soft just completely changes how we're thinking, how we're wiring ourselves in the moment. Let's see. So yeah, that's what I have for you today. When you start to hit any sort of a glass ceiling, you might feel the expectations are too high. You might feel you might outshine someone. I've experienced that one a lot. Like I'll kind of hold back or self-sabotage because I've been afraid of outshining. And I think of Nelson Mandela, our little light is meant to shine. So what is kind of it's less important what's holding you back. It's more important to notice that you are holding yourself back and you're hitting this glass ceiling and you're somehow self-sabotaging. You may self-sabotage by complaining, by blaming other people, shaming yourself, arguing. all kinds of little ways that suddenly you're going into fight or flight, and you're corrupting this ability to actually uplift and get into an even better performance than what you did before. So I hope that's helpful. This is my book. You can go to my website and get a PDF copy, and I save you $5, or you can go right to Amazon and get it if you like a hard copy. And there's a hard copy and there's paperback too. So I wish you a great pressure-free day. Bye.